So, last session was relatively low on plot stuff, but a lot of it was a lot of character interaction. Plot-wise, you did manage to track down and defeat the wizardy undead that was guarding the outpost. You collected the information that was in the outpost, which was mostly pieces of some kind of map and a few vague records, and you successfully, through a very good medicine check from Lucian, managed to determine that the undead, at least this undead, was being artificially modified to be able to cast magic, having some flesh grown on top of it, things like that. But most of the rest of the session, even when there were plot-related details, like you went to go get a map copied and things of that sort, a lot of the rest of it was pretty roleplay heavy. There was party dynamics. There were some conversations with Relcon and Ekris, two of the Dragonborn of note who live in the town, about the map that I mentioned before. Ran made a friend by learning how to tap dance. I might be missing something, but I think it was just a pretty just a pretty low stakes, pretty chill session for the last portion of it. I was going to talk about the things Kriv was doing, but Kazuto's not here, so. Yeah, there was the table. There was that, where there were several minutes of when you were trying to figure out what to do with the destroyed undead. You took it back to the outpost and then spent several minutes deliberating over what to do about that table, and ended up just breaking a corner off it, breaking a leg of the table, and ruining it. I mean, the graffiti didn't last too long. It was just Rand being like, I'm going to name the party, and then the others are like, no, we don't like that name, and then erasing the graffiti. And also, we don't like that, we don't like that the people who are here might be going in and seeing, oh, what's this? Somebody just graffitied their name on here. Good, we're just going to look for these guys, I guess. But joke's on them. That wasn't a party name that everybody had accepted yet. I mean, maybe it might be at some point, but I think needs a little bit of workshopping. That's just my opinion, though. DM's opinion. That went off the rails.
Yeah. And also, Daxmir had a conversation with Doros, which didn't go nearly as well as he kind of had hoped.
Yeah. So you wake up. You wake up at the next day. Some of you are in the inn, sleeping in the room that you've been in, or the rooms, or however that's arranged. I'm pretty sure I established that it was just one area, and some of you are sleeping on various roofs around town. But
I thought it was just Damien that was doing the roof thing.
Kriv and Ran had a series of moments that led to Rand being up on the roof and falling asleep up there, and Kriv going up on the roof and writing a journal entry and talking to Ran while Ran was asleep. So, since it was sort of Kazuto never mentioned Kriv getting off of the roof, and there's a precedent for people falling asleep up there, I just sort of sure, Kriv can be up there. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Anyway. So after you all wake up, what do you do? Tirza and Damien are are collected to go help out with the clearing out areas of the town that have been damaged effort that they were supposed to go do.
Oh yes, their customer,
Oh
not
yeah.
customer service,
Community service.
Community
service.
service.
Yeah.
I knew it was another C word.
Yeah. When the guard goes in to collect Tirza from where she is in the inn, he seems pretty frustrated as he comes out of the building that he wasn't able to see where Ran is, and Ran has been asleep on the roof up until this point. So Ran, you wake up and you see the guard down there with Tirza and looking around, like sort of heading off, but also sort of just looking back and forth, trying to see if you're in any other place. Doesn't really think to look up because, like, despite the fact that you've been doing this every once in a while, nobody in town really has caught on to the whole every once in a while people are just going to be on the roofs pattern.
I want to sneak up on the guard, like stealthily, and pat him on the back.
Okay. Let's rat. Oof.
$28.
28?
Yep.
Alright, he rolled high, but nowhere near that high. So, yeah, you just drop silently like a shadow down from the roof and just pat him on the back like a good job pat, or what are you doing exactly?
Like a good job pat and saying, what you gonna bring my friends to?
He stops startled and looks around. It's the tall dragonborn who was going in and telling Lucian and Daxmir about this a while ago, and who was like the first one to see you breaking into the building. So like he has to like look down to see you because you're like a head shorter than him. Oh, been looking for you. You're supposed to go to the edge of town and help out with building clearing.
Oh yeah. Oh well, take me then.
All right. He seems slightly pleased that aside from the jump he just had, there wasn't a lot of trouble. He knows the reputation that adventurers can have sometimes.
I'm a good boy. Just quicker the sentence, quicker we release from here.
So while they're headed off to go do that, what do Lucian and Daxmir do?
Well, yeah, Stranger was asking how early it is.
Well, usually when I'm starting the day, I'm assuming it's like when everybody would naturally wake up, and probably in Daxmir's case to post his his waking up and having his meditations on everything.
It's breakfast time. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's been up for a while, so he's probably not going to go out anywhere. I figure they've caused enough trouble, so he's probably just downstairs already having breakfast.
Okay.
Looking through his prayer book.
Yeah, again, Lucian's probably doing the same. Like, whenever you mention the guard coming to pick them up, I would imagine maybe Daxmere, but Lucian would definitely already be in sort of the general eatery area, having a cup of tea in the morning and just kind of rifling through a couple of notes here and there, just looking over things, just ensuring everything's proper and in order at the start of my day.
Okay.
And very quick out of character question, have we gotten paid at all as of yet? Because I have not documented that, so...
Well, the way I had been setting it up is that, like, you are arranged for a mission, you go out and you do that mission and you come back and then you get, like, the full payment for the mission when you report that it's done. If you wanna have there be, like, an element of, like, after a certain point you get paid for it, I can introduce something like that, but it kind of goes against the format that I was thinking would make sense.
No, that does make quite a bit of sense. It's just kind of with the map negotiations last session, I was trying to barter because Lucian only has about 5 gold on him, being a court official.
Oh, I thought
As it were.
that I had some like the Grung and the Sahuagin and everybody had money and things worth money on them. Maybe just like Ran and Tirza have those because they're the ones who searched the body. Maybe they just kept them. Ran, do you have anything in your character sheet? I forget what specifically I gave them.
Red, blue, and green stone, and that's about it.
Did you write down how much I said those were worth, or did Ran ever like look into how much those were worth, or?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Not yet, if I remember.
Perhaps it's time for the gang to get a part-time job. But no, I was thinking just general morning stuff, assuming we've kind of quieted down. We're not going to head out on any adventures of sorts. I would probably go finally visit that herbalism shop to at least browse their tea selection.
Okay. So you head over there. It's still fairly early in the morning, so it's at this point just one person who seems to be a shop assistant in there setting everything up, like rearranging the containers of everything from, if people went to go buy things yesterday. You open the door. There's the thing that some shops have where there's a bell and it rings. She turns around and recognizes you, waves. She's a halfling, currently trying to organize some things. Hello.
So,
if you're looking for potions for adventuring business and everything, I'm afraid that the owner's not up yet. He's kind of a light sleeper. Late sleeper. I said light sleeper. It's morning.
rather quickly, I am not armed, as it were. I would have, I mean, especially because this is just business and it's in town. I definitely wouldn't be dragging along my sword or anything of that nature. Seeing the assistant, I would take my jacket off and look at them. Oh, no worries, my dear. I'm simply just a purveyor of teas, and I was actually hoping to possibly see what selection you might have.
Out of character, I know very little about tea, and I probably should have looked this up beforehand.
I've done very minimal research as well. I know just generic types.
I know a lot about tea, but I'm not there.
You want to type some recommendations that
Yeah,
the shop owner might have?
I know just basics about like the flavor and consistency and things, but I have no idea how people who buy and sell tea would describe those sorts of things.
That's what Google is for. Well, okay, yeah.
I know,
I mean,
I
you
know.
can just wing it. You know, it's herbal tea, black tea, oolong, white tea, yellow tea, red tea, green tea, fermented tea.
Chamomile and like honey infused or vanilla extract added. I mean, I've read the tea aisle at my local grocery store, but other than that, I don't know anything.
All right. So, yeah, on hearing that you're wanting tea, the shop assistant just lists all those colors of tea that were just mentioned, and the variations of it. It seems like there's not like any of the artisanal sort of things. Like you said, there were like certain teas that are infused with other substances like honey. Like nothing of that sort of nature here, but
Like no hints of orange peel or none of that nature. So it's your standard bulk tea leaf in a sort.
yeah, there are different varieties of it. I was thinking when I was like putting this together, there'd be like 3 or 4 varieties of it, but I'm like, I don't remember what different kinds of tea there are. So yeah, just those different colors that were mentioned before, like black tea, green tea, red tea, white tea.
I'm currently trying to think of serving sizes that you could feasibly buy them for.
1 tea cube.
Yes. Could I possibly ask the going price of a pouch of black tea, if you wouldn't mind?
This is an out of character question, but how many cups would you be able to make with a pouch? I'm trying to determine the prices here. I had this place predetermined, and I didn't think that it would just be like, I'm gonna buy 1 pouch. Like, what do you have in mind?
Well, I mean, if there is a quantity that they sell it in, I would certainly be interested to hear what that might be. But for the most part, it's just kind of restock my supplies, as it were, which might go for at least maybe, I don't know, I'd give it a good 10 teapots full, like, so 10 servings.
Okay. So yeah, there are a couple of boxes of the different kinds of tea that are presented to you of the 10 teapot variety for about 5 copper each. Like for each of the boxes there. So that'd be a silver for 2 of the boxes.
All right, I think I'll spend 5 silver. Let's go 8 boxes of black, 2 boxes of green. Just as an interest, black's normally my preferred preference, but a little bit of green tea every once in a while doesn't hurt.
All right. So she goes and moves some things around, opens one of the boxes she was carrying, and takes out some of the containers in there, rings everything up. wouldn't have like. You know what? I'm gonna say they have paper bags. Whatever. Puts it in a bag and hands it to you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. And I'll present
Very welcome.
a single gold piece.
All right. She opens up the cash box and gives you your change.
Well, my dear, I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to experiment with your wares a little bit more at some other point in time. But for now, the comforts at home seem to hold me at bay. And I'll sort of give her a polite nod and leave the store.
Okay.
And I think perhaps I'll go see what the delinquents are doing.
All right. So you head over to the area around the edge of town where the buildings are being cleared out. Between the relative strength that Damien has and the 3 extra hands and the fact that it's been a while since there was the last attack, the actual like tamping down of the area from the earth tremor spells is already finished, and most of the clearing out is proceeding in a reasonable pace. I think this is the first time you've been over here. So in addition to the halflings and dragonborn that are out here, there are a couple more Earth Genasi, like how the species Connor is, who are out here, who seem to be involved in the construction effort, like not just in the clearing out of the houses, but also in putting up new areas and testing things along those lines. You see Toriel out here again supervising. Ran is there, so if you want to do anything talking to Lucian, Ran, you see him walk up with a paper bag full of tea boxes in his hands.
Well, it's currently under my arm, just kind
okay.
of cradling it with one arm and just kind of jaunty stroll.
All right.
I'm just side-eyeing Lucian and goes back to work faster than ever.
Seeing the motivation of the young, I will continue my stroll and probably just make a longer arc back to the inn. Just browsing the town, not sure what I might see, but
yeah. Were you here when Tirza was walking like back and forth around the town last time, and I was describing some places? Stranger?
Was that when she met Relkan or Relkon?
No, at the end of last session, there was Kriv doing his character moment, Rand doing his character moment, and at the very end, there was Tirza just like walking around town at night, looking at the buildings while they were closed. And I was describing some of the places, like there was a local library, there was that specialty shop that was, well, not specialty, but like that shop that was, bringing in some of the raw lumber from the forest and refining it into the sort of materials they'd be able to use to like build roofs and turn into furniture and things like that. Just describing some of the local areas. You probably pass by those as you're walking by, but unlike before when like it was just the middle of the night, so they were all closed, a couple of them are opening up. like you're seeing the the carpenters, that's the word. The carpenters in the wooden refinery shop getting to work on making some furniture in there. It's part of the side of that area is relatively open, in part for a display function, and in part because a lot of the buildings in here, since they're in a partially completed town, don't have like proper windows, but
I don't suppose there might be any street vendors at all, like just general, like maybe a baker out selling bread, or just perhaps trying to think.
There's a bakery. No, nobody who's like just in a cart walking around the streets or anything. At least not like at this stage, because
Everything's
like
still
the
pretty-
infrastructure of everything. There's like ovens and things in some of the buildings, but unless I'm misremembering how this sort of thing goes, need to be.
Yeah, there's no like market square to where they have open stalls or anything of that nature. So
No, it's just like that each of the individual places are having their own function. Nothing that's specifically like a big bazaar or anything at this point. Like you're seeing a butcher area where some of the animals from outside are brought in and prepared. You're seeing the restaurant from last night, which is like right across the street from the butcher, so that they can get their supplies and everything. But nothing that's like any immediate, just big bustling area. There's, the town's still partially under construction. There might be something like that at some point, but at this point, the people who are doing their things are doing their things in their own places.
well, if I happen to catch the smell of fresh bread, I would definitely be inclined to go buy a loaf. Just quick in and out, just however much it may cost.
I'm going to say that's another 2 copper. For just a loaf of bread. So yeah, if you're just going to go in and out and just go and get something and come back, I don't really think I need to like just describe the place and everybody in it unless you want me to.
No, I'm just trying to sort of at least touch on a couple of things that Lucy may be doing as a normal habit, given time. Just kind of just localizing himself with some of these businesses, at least.
Yeah. You run into Glynis in there, like she's also just buying bread, and you probably have like a brief, oh yeah, I recognize you, yeah, conversation.
A polite nod, even though like it's it's kind of strange talking to certain people without knowing them too deeply.
Yeah.
Just talking about weather and all that. But other than the bread, I really can't think of anything else Lucy might actually be interested in buying, unless something just kind of stuck out at him while he was walking by. So once again, back to the inn.
Yeah, it's pretty basic around here so far. Like most of what's there is just things that people would be having a general sort of interest in. So that's why I backed off from saying like a specialty shop before, because that implies that there'd be enough people and enough infrastructure for there to be
such a niche market.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Niche. It's been a long day. I forget some of my vocabulary.
But if you want to throw it to Daxmere, I really don't have much else to shop for.
All right.
Too much money to spend.
Yeah. Okay, well, honestly, Daxmere hasn't, I mean, eventually he'd fiddle around and kind of linger over breakfast for a while, and, I mean, Bart, because Toriel didn't specify when they were going to send this delegation out, right?
She was sort of implying that it was going to be soon, but didn't tell you at this point like a date and time or anything like that. It seemed like from the way she was describing it that it was going to be she'd like bring it up with the administrators and talk to them about like who'd be going and what the general sort of conduct would need to be, sort of thing.
Okay. All right. Well then, I guess borrowing. Well, I was gonna ask something actually about the pay thing because, like, so far it just kind of seems like we showed up in town and dealt with the attack that was going on, and then we kind of like did our initial thing, and then we did another thing, and there was never really any. We were never really given any specific set of orders other than go look around. So
Well, that's partially just due to the structure of how the commission tends to handle its agents and things like that. There's a kind of a wide recruitment process, as seen in the fact that like some of the people here are from halfway across the continent, and some of the people are from just a couple of towns over. Like the way that they tend to operate is that they've seen how effective like just adventuring groups can be if they're sent out in some place and given a goal and a direction. And as long as they do like what needs to be done and report back and get everything in order, it's generally best to not send in a bunch of red tape that keeps them from being able to get things done quickly.
okay, and that's fine. I was just like, if we're gonna get paid and we're going to get paid for doing specific things, I was just kind of like, I was just wondering like what specifically we needed to do to like who we needed to be taking our marching orders from, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I assumed it was Delilah, but
Yeah, Delilah and the administrators are keeping records of everything.
as a group. I mean, specifically for himself, Daxmir kind of like tends to see himself as more like here, like what's the phrase I'm looking for? Kind of like he's here to do like what the temple tells him to do, like first priority, and then like whatever the commission says, because he kind of figures that more or less like their goals are going to be about the same.
Yeah, at this point, you've not seen anything that would be just a huge conflict in that direction.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I guess that probably Dax will kind of fiddle around a while longer, and then barring anything else anyone needs him to do, he'll just probably just go out and help on the wherever their work site. Just go help wherever Toriel and the other people are working. Lack of anything else to do.
All right.
And he is still going armed, by the way. He is not. He isn't in his armor with his weapon, but he's also just going to go help. He wants to be ready.
Oh yeah, Ren is also fully armed this time. He is fully armed and fully aware if there's any like surprise attack.
I mean, we can hope that the Grung aren't going to show up again, but hey, we don't know that the Grung aren't going to show up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I look normal because I have an armored defense, and
You
I
are
can
a
use
monk.
I can use fist as weapon, so I dress casually.
Yeah, you're just wearing pants.
Pants are good. Do you carry like a staff or anything?
No, my main weapon's a longsword. I was thinking about getting a cane to possibly use,
Yeah.
or get a staff and sort of flavor it as a cane, but
Like Lucius Malfoy's little cane sword.
Yeah, I've got magic stuff planned for you guys down the pipeline a little bit, and Stranger specifically requested a modified version of the veteran's cane or gentleman's cane or something like that. from
Veteran's
Santa Claus.
cane.
So you could turn into a sword and into a cane back and forth as an action, or bonus action or something like that, but freely. So it's not just like stuck in one form. And yeah, that's coming up. Just not right now. Maybe later this session, if you roll several more really good natural 20s and then find all the spots. But
I mean, one of my players did roll 3 natural 20s in a row, so maybe I have that luck too, but
Oh,
yeah, so you're talking about that. Anyway. So between the 3 other people showing up and helping out for community service, and Daxmir appearing and also aiding, it's a lot faster and more effective for you to clear out these buildings. And actually, between everything, it seems like the work that you need to do is, at least the work that you've been under community service for, Ran, is almost done at this point. And you can see in the background, like your supervisor is talking to somebody else, like, what is it that we're gonna do when they're done with what it is that they were supposed to be doing? There haven't been any attacks or anything for a bit. Nobody's been knocking anything down for them to clear out.
Ooh, build more stuff.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that seems to be the
Kitchen
general.
patrol.
That seems to be the general consensus. Like I mean, if they've got a couple of days left, just have them carry some things around, help people out. I mean, everybody's gonna need like hey, give me a different hammer.
Um,
Like Damien might be able to help out with the actual like facets of construction and everything, but Tirza and Rand's strength scores are pretty lackluster from what I remember.
yeah. I mean, Rane doesn't want any additional job for his sentences. But I don't know if running away is a good option either. What should I
Were you
do?
planning to approach Toriel or the administrators or somebody else about being assigned as the detachment? When they're
Attachment?
Hooligan again? Yeah,
Attachment?
the escort.
Oh. Maybe.
Daxmir, like either of you who were there. I was directing that question to Daxmir, but you were the first one who answered, so you can ask also.
I will just continue my work as fast as possible.
Hadn't I raised that with Toriel when we talked before? Seemed like I at least mentioned it.
Yeah, you had mentioned it before, but I don't know that it had gotten to the point where it had been. You were bringing it up in an official sort of context, more like we know who they are, they'll recognize us. It would be easier for us to be able to open negotiations than a bunch of just randos barging in.
I mean, I'm kind of reluctant to like bug her about it, given that was just yesterday, and she's already kind of annoyed with me.
It was 2 days ago. I think. I think so.
Oh yeah.
I've not been tracking.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
I think it was 2 days ago.
Oh okay. Yeah. I guess a night went by between when we talked to her, and then when we went back out to go. Wait. No, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because there have been 3 separate times now when, wait. Yeah, I think 3 separate times now when Ran and Tirza and Damien have gone out to help clear things.
Okay.
And after the first time, you went to go talk to Toriel.
Yeah.
So
Okay. No, I'll just help and be there and be visible and at least give it another day. I mean, if the Grung not the Grung, the Sahuagin we had talked to had seemed more like less like disgusted about like having to see us again, I'd be a little more forceful about it, but I'm kind of like second guessing that at this point. So anyway, nope, Daxmir will just help and be there, be around, and patch anybody up who like bangs their thumb with a hammer.
yeah, she seemed less like disgusted with you, and more just like frustrated that this was happening. Not like I don't know what necessarily you meant by disgusted. It wasn't like a matter of like surface dwellers, that sort of thing. It was more like it was more like frustrated that like, oh yeah, here are these people who are coming in, like they killed some of our patrol members, and they're like, no, fine, we're gonna help you out. Like that's frustrating.
Oh yeah.
Not exactly
Well, no,
trustworthy.
I specifically meant the one we talked to over the stone.
Oh,
He seemed pretty disgusted.
yeah. Yeah, he's a Kuotoa, and also he was disgusted because you killed a personal friend of his.
Sorry. Anyway. What's a Kuotoa again?
They're the fish-headed humanoids.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They're one of the natural inhabitants of the Underdark, but they can breathe underwater, so they survived after all the flooding happened. There are a few species down there like that naturally either breathe water primarily or can breathe water and air like Kuotoa can.
Okay. Let's see. Lucian talked to let's see. Is Stranger's not with us helping, right? Lucian isn't.
No. At this time, Lucian's going around to different places, going into the chemist to buy tea. I didn't really describe the chemist shop in that much detail because because a lot of the things that are in there for like potions and whatnot, and going into the bakery and.
I have a question for him, but I'll ask him when I catch up with him. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Daxter will just work until whatever they're ready to take a break.
All right.
And I guess once,
so there's nothing like severely of note that's happening right now until then. So you can just like time skip directly to when it is they're taking a break.
Okay. Well, if there's no specific if nothing is going to happen over lunch break, then he'll probably go up to the temple and see if there's anything they need him to do.
I'm currently trying to think what else I could buy for to assemble some form of lunch for people. Because now I'm starting to think of just making a sort of a group lunch picnic of sorts to take to those of us that are working to better the community.
Well, I mean, I mentioned before that there was the butcher. There are some other places that are bringing in like fruit and other things that are grown out in the terraformed areas and whatnot. There are there are several different areas. Like the closest thing to a vendor like that you were mentioning before would probably be the people who were selling the fruit and whatnot, just because it would make sense for it to be out in an open environment. But either way, it's not like a cart or whatever. It's still a predetermined area.
Yeah, I think with that knowledge and kind of thinking on it a little bit as I walked around and after seeing Ran work so diligently, I would pick up a couple of pieces of fruit, whatever the local orange equivalent, I suppose, would be, and perhaps a little bit of lunch meat, and kind of just assemble a nice picnic.
All right. I'm gonna say if you want like all the picnic materials for multiple people, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say just a silver. I'm not gonna be like super managing about all this, but just a silver for all the stuff you're gonna need to make everybody like sandwiches or whatever.
All right, sounds good. And sort of completing my idea of a picnic for people, I guess I would be heading to the job site, at least to extend a goodwill offering to my group members.
All right. So by the time that you're headed over to the temple, Daxmir, there is a fairly decent amount of activity around there, as much as you can. Like it's usually been maybe a couple of people that are going in and having their religious service done. They're the clerics who were there for their particular amount of time. But it seems like at this particular day of the week or this time of day or whatever, there's more general activity. You see Doros out there talking just to some of the Dragonborn in what seems to be like an official religious capacity. Horus doing a similar sort of thing. I already established that Glynis was a while ago going out and buying some bread. So if you go into the temple, you're probably seeing her sitting on the floor reading a book, eating a sandwich. She looks up and waves. Oh, hi! Haven't seen you in a couple of days.
Yeah, I've been a little busy. Anything you need me to do?
With what?
Just whatever. I'm here to help. If not, I'll go help them out at the back out where they're putting new buildings up. Because I mean, OOC, I would presume that like if it's a new settlement, they're probably always in the process of putting something, developing something or other, building onto something.
No. I don't think there's anything Bahamut-y to be doing right now. There's some sermons going on outside right now, but That wouldn't really be. They're from the other groups, and paladins are pretty driven in their own. Sorry, weird phrasing. It's morning. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Well, fair enough. He'll just kind of give her a wave and he'll kind of like go out and kind of like, he won't like approach. He'll just kind of like watch from a distance, like the other two. Because that's going on outside, you said, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The temple as a whole seems to be like it would be useful for a group of people to gather in at a point in time, but it seems like since there are like 4 different groups that use that building, then when they're actually having people gather for sermons and whatnot, then it's happening outside.
Okay. He'll start kind of like thinking about like, maybe we should put up some pavilions or something, just so they can do it when it's like rain. Well, I mean, especially, I guess since winter's coming on, they're probably gonna want to get something permanent up. But
Yeah.
anyway, he'll kind of think about that, and I guess he'll just head back and see if there's anything else they need him to do. If not, if they seem to be finished at the job site, he might approach Toriel and see if there's anything she needs him to do. Or he'll go to Delilah. But I think he'll kind of like collect maybe a couple other people before he'll do that. So he'll just kind of like go back to whatever they're doing. I guess if they're picnicking, he'll join in.
All right. So everybody gets together, has a picnic with the things that Lucian bought, and then I'm going to say after that point, unless you want to have like a like a role play event going on in the picnic itself, I'm going to say like after that point, then Ran and everybody else can be done with what they needed to do for the day, and you can all go and talk to Delilah.
Well, I just kind of do want to state real quick that picnic is a gift for seeing the more troubling companions of mine sort of assist the community in such a way. So it's to reward them, tell them they're doing a good job. I'm not going to say I'm proud of them, but I certainly do feel better about my consorts.
Yeah, Tears will probably at some point like drop a snide remark about like it's a legal requirement. So
I would expect nothing less. And honestly, I do kind of want to hear Rand's response because I expect it to be good as well.
And Ran is AFK.
Yeah, notice that part.
oh boy.
I think, I'd be okay skipping his response because.
Are you liking that it's taking this session a long time to get going? Because I'm looking down, I'm seeing like it's been an hour, and I'm getting like kind of insecure about how little functionally has happened. But you guys have just like gone around and talked to people and established things. But like even then, not a whole lot of like actual like information has been exchanged. Just like, oh yeah, here are some places. I've established some areas.
I mean, that's kind of the question that we're running into, though, is what should we do? I mean, like, I would love to hear a little more about the town, just kind of understand how it's fleshed out and what might be available, but we don't quite have, or at least I don't. I mean, we're missing roughly half the party, aren't we?
Yeah. I was kind of tempted when I was seeing that, like, that Damien would be late and Tirza would be late. Have another like groggy session for a bit, but that would be a bit pressing to have it be. There'd be two side sessions so close to each other.
So, and real quick,
Did you end up talking to Delilah and the others about the Sahuagin and Grung
Did we
and everything, or was it just you went to?
talk to Toriel? I don't know if we took that back to Delilah.
yeah, I think this skepticism that she was a halfling sort of.
I mean, we can go to her and I mean, we've already told everything to Toriel, so presumably Toriel is going to tell her. I would
Yeah,
think.
I mean, it's been a couple of days. Toria would have told the administrators, and the administrators would have told her, so she would have like known everything at this point. But I'm just saying, from the perspective of how you guys have been interacting with everybody directly.
I mean, we've had no more. I mean, we've had no more like growing attacks at least, so we can't really like. We've already technically found where they were, so I kind of feel like we're at a stalemate with that right now. So about the only thing we could do is chase up this business with the undead. I want to know where they're getting all these freaking bodies. I'm not saying that out loud. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, I guess at least if she knows about the undead, we can see if she wants us to go out. And now I'll be talking to, Lucy and say, we could see if she wants us to go out and, investigate this undead business anymore.
Yeah, really quickly, how long was that map supposed to take? Because
What map?
the map we have commissioned.
Oh, map.
map.
Okay.
I
Then
heard
you said
nap too.
map,
Did
and I
you
was
hear
like,
nap
who-
as in
who is
NAP?
napping? Okay.
Short
That's what I
rest,
heard
yeah,
too.
go.
It was going to be about a day or so between Ekris's other concerns that she has to deal with, and rescaling everything and getting it down onto that smaller medium, but in a way that'll like last, so that it won't just be like a piece of paper or something. If you drop it, it's just gonna be ruined.
All right,
So
yeah. With
maybe a little more hardy than that.
Yeah, with the knowledge that the map we have commissioned is going to take at least a day, and I wouldn't want to rush her at all, so give her a couple of days, be polite about it. We could definitely go see if there's anything else we can do, any exploration. Go check in at the guard post.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So you head out to the guardhouse, and you're seeing some of the recognizable figures in there. The blue dragonborn, who seems to be kind of a lieutenant. The silver dragonborn, who was kind of like a sergeant in a sergeant sort of capacity when everybody was being brought in from the whole mayor's house business. And Delilah is back there talking to them, and when she sees you walk in, she turns around, talks to the two dragonborn for a little bit, and waves you over to where her desk is.
Good day to you, Miss Delilah. How goes things?
Quieter than I expected. Which is a good thing, but considering everything else that's been going on so far, suspicious might be the wrong sort of word. Trying to segue into this, but I'll just get at it. I've heard that your group has been wanting to be part of the diplomatic efforts to try and actually communicate properly with everybody out there.
Yes, that would be our intentions. We seem to have realized that that the natives are actually an intelligent species, and we're seeking to resolve what could be assumed as a land matter between the factions. So, I mean, any input we could possibly gain and assist with would be utmost of importance.
We've been trying to properly pace how it is that we're going to be doing this, and it was determined that we're going to need to follow up on what was said and what you advanced as soon as possible to keep there from being any sort of confusion. We'd like you to be able to go out there, preferably this afternoon.
Well, we had just recently gone on a minor expedition out into the forest yesterday, but certainly we could gear up once more and reestablish contact with the Sahuagin and the Grung. Should it be required? Yes. Would you like some bread? Since we're sharing pleasantries, at least. I happen to have a little bit left over from a lunch that our group had, but, I mean, it's rather been picked after.
Sure.
I'll just kind of offload the last of the picnic, whatever anyone else might not have eaten.
All right. So she holds it for a second, hands it to the. Hold on. Let me type down his name. Oh, that's not it. Should be no there. There we go. All right. So she takes it, weighs it in her hand for a second, and gives it to the blue dragonborn. For the road, Vorat. You're going with them. And he nods, opens a little pouch on his belt and puts the bread in there. It kind of sticks a little bit out the top, but it's obviously just in there to keep it from getting lost or squished or anything. And you're seeing on her desk there's like some assignment sheets and everything. So she's trying to determine like which of the guards is also going to be going, who's going to be escorting which administrators in which sort of capacity. Because remember, she doesn't entirely like trust all of you immediately, even though it was like a relatively small thing that was going on before. So, you're going to be there to escort the administrators, but like other people are going to need to be there also to escort the administrators.
Someone's going to be responsible for us.
Yeah.
And what was this guard's name?
Vorat.
Is he a dragonborn?
Yes.
What color?
He's the blue dragonborn. You've seen in there in a pretty high-ranking sort of capacity. He seems to be like a second or third in command of the whole business. Like if there is another person above him, like between him and Delilah. It's not been terribly clear. But yeah, you've seen him a couple of times before. He's been in there. He's been going and getting records and helping Delilah out with things. And
How sturdy does he
present
look?
at your trial? Sorry.
I was kind of curious about the sturdiness of this guard, just to make sure that we aren't babysitting as well.
No, he's pretty well built. Not as tall as the Black Dragonborn guard was, but he's equally muscular and seems fairly intelligent from what you've been able to just notice from, just secondhand interactions with him.
No, I'm pretty sure if anybody's being babysat, it's us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, by some of the other of us. But I'm gonna look at Vorat. Pleasure to meet your
Vorat.
acquaintance. Vorat?
Yeah.
V is in Vendetta or B is in Boy?
V.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Well, should we have a little bit of time before we disembark? I do need to go retrieve my supplies.
Vorat nods. It's going to be in about half an hour.
Ample time. And I'll go retrieve my stuff.
Dax will go back and get his backpack because he was armed and armored, but did not have his supplies with him. And it's
we
like
already. Go on.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say as we're headed out, as we're out of the building and headed back towards the inn, Dax will be kind of like, wait, half an hour from now. When were they planning to tell us?
They might have not.
Oh.
It seems we
Glad
have
to
that.
have at least a little bit of advance time.
But sometimes opportunities like this come rather shortly, and wisdom says to jump on a good chance if you can. So
I suppose. Okay, we go get our stuff. Notify the others that we are going somewhere.
yeah, actually tell somebody this time, so half the party's not wondering what happened.
Do you already done the job community service thingy?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Are we already done the community
I said
service?
before that I would just be considering that when you guys were having your lunch and setting everything up, that was at the end of the time of day when you were supposed to have the community service.
If that's so, I will make a pit stop at a weapon shop to buy a new dagger. Good one.
There's not officially a weapons shop in here, but if you want, you could talk to the guards and then bring that up, because you remember before when Daxmir was talking to them, Vorat gave him one of the short bows that one of the Grung had in a previous attack. And you've seen that some of the Grung carry around daggers, so you'd probably be able to get one. It'd be a little small for your hands, but you'd be able to, use it and stab people with it and throw it and everything.
And then I can have my dagger back.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to the guard to ask for a dagger because I lost one.
Considering your situation with them, I'm going to need you to roll a persuasion check, or like I guess you could offer to like buy it from them, which is going to be a lower DC for the check, but you're still going to need to persuade them that
You can be reliably armed.
yes. That's better. That's a more succinct way than I was going to phrase it. Thank you for that.
Haha!
I'm an English major. I'm here to serve.
I think I'm gonna buy it. Yes, if that's okay. So I'm not that good at persuasion. 8.
I'm just looking up how much a dagger will normally cost.
I will be back in 1 moment.
All right.
2 gold.
So you can buy it for 3 gold if you want. It's a reluctant exchange, but if you're willing to be paying for it, then that would at least be something.
Oh, okay.
Good thing you didn't roll any lower than that, because you're actually like on the threshold of. Oh, they're charging higher because he rolled low on his
Yeah,
check.
I'm getting that it's been bumped up quite a bit, but it's still rather funny. They're extorting him just a little bit.
So 3 gold. It's not extortion, more like just we still don't trust this guy, so let's see if he's willing to pay a market price to get this back.
Perhaps
I'm
put
not
a
gonna-
rope on it, or don't throw it this time.
I think I'm. Sir, I think I'll pass and then just walk away.
All right.
$3 is too much.
You get a shrug, like wasn't really that important that you get that particular dagger. So
Yeah, 3 CPs. Too much for a dagger. I'm just gonna walk back and prepare myself for the mission. And while preparing, I'm gonna check the stone again.
okay, I keep forgetting. Which one of you, like, you swapped around who was holding which stone at least once at some point? Who was holding the stone that, like, the other end was gotten rid of, and who's holding the stone that talks to the Sahuagin?
Oh shoot, I forgot. I forgot that my stone is in Terza's hand now. So she has the rocks. Not me. I kind of forgot.
I mean, since there are so few people here, I'm fine with you being like, and we had we had a talk with the other members of the party and swapped around who's holding the stones again, so that like Lucian or Daxmir can have the stone to make a call, or you can have the stone to make a call if you want.
I'm gonna ask Terza to borrow her rocks and check it if it's the same. Check the rocks, I guess. Yeah.
All right, she hands you one of them, and when you hold it up to your ear, it's just like a faint static. She handed you the disconnected one.
No, the live one that has the sound.
You look back to her and say that, and she's grinning. She rolls her eyes.
No, like, oh, okay. I'll take it anyway. So what do I roll to check this piece of rock? Pieces.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say eventually through talking to her, whoever else has the working one, you give the disconnected one back to Tirza and get the working one. And you don't need to like roll a check to make it work. It's just that you pick it up and hold it and it works. You just need to start talking into it.
I'm gonna ask Dax if he has the comprehend language spell or any means of no. Oh shit.
Sorry.
Who has the
That
means?
works for Kriv, and I don't want to be like role playing Kriv's character in a super extended way, and talking to another NPC as Kriv.
And then possibly burning a spell slot for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
expending resources without player approval.
Mm-hmm.
Can't we certainly try and common, see if they respond to it?
Oh well. And I'm gonna shout to the rock. Hey there, buddy.
I personally am just going to pinch my eyebrows or pinch the ridge of my nose.
So you're like shouting, like actually shouting into the rock, or that was like a metaphorical thing, and you're just being like loud.
Yeah, it's just loud, but not really actually shouting, because I don't wanna disturb the town again.
Okay, so after a couple of seconds, you hear a confused voice on the other end, and some Sahuagin language. You don't really recognize it. That was the confused voice on the other side, and after a little bit, you hear it being shuffled off. You hear a brief argument in Sahuagin, and after a bit, you hear Kelsolak's voice again. What now?
No, I'm just checking. I have some stone that I loot from someone that
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just checking. You know, we're friends, right?
No.
Oh really? he laughs nervously, and he whispers to Lucian, "What do we do with this?"
You hear on the other end, Kelsolak is muttering, like he doesn't have to say this in common. He could say this in like one of the other languages he knows, but he's saying this in common for whatever reason. And of course they're calling me up to waste my time. Like in the sense that like he's putting it down, he's sort of holding it to his side, but you can hear his voice through it still.
What do we do, Lucian, please?
You're the one that wanted to talk to him, boy.
I just I just want to check this.
Ran.
Check this rock.
Probably tell them that we're coming
Okay.
this afternoon.
What's the name again?
Can I just take the stone from Rand, please?
Oh yeah, I'll give. He's so nervous. He just gives the rock to you.
Mr. Kelselak, we apologize for intruding with this brief message, but we wanted to inform you and possibly have you pass it along to the Malinti that we will be guiding a small diplomatic entourage to begin negotiations with your people about the settlement of the land. We should be there
All
within
the prisoners.
a few hours, and we will come with the best of intentions. So please inform the Grung that are within your service to not be hostile.
I whispered as your
Alrighty.
prisoner.
Oh, I overestimated your bureaucracy, I guess. Okay. How many people?
What was our count? About 6 or 7 with the Virat and
There's Farrat. There are 2 other halfling guards that are there, and Toriel and 2 of the administrators are also going.
So that's 6 plus. That's 6 that's not us.
Yeah.
Plus. I mean, how
Plus
many of us are
7.
going?
I'll just speak back into the stone. We will be guiding a party of 6 with us.
He did.
Just for your information, it's not too large of a group. So please, we come with the best of intentions and we'll attempt to settle some negotiations if it would please the Malinti.
Boy, they're not all going to fit in the tent.
They're not all expected to.
All right, I'll let everybody know. You hear a conversation in Sahu again to a couple of other people nearby, and the very quiet, because it's through what's essentially phone connection, sound of somebody turning around and leaving.
Alright, I think it's time to sign off.
Well then, see you soon, Kesselog. Good day. And
Mhm.
I'll hand the stone back to Rand because I don't know how to operate it.
You just stop talking into it for a little bit, and it shuts off on its own.
I'm still kind of ancient too, so I don't understand magical technologies either.
Yeah, after about like 30 seconds, the dim light of the little swirlies and whatnot in the sending stone fade. It shuts off.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm trying to like put it back on a receiver of some form. I don't quite understand it. I don't know if they were FaceTiming me or or what. If they could see me at all.
Oh no, I didn't shave.
I've got a bad angle that gives me a double
He's a
chin.
half elf, he's fine. Takes him 500
this
years
is-
to grow facial hair.
So this is how they do it with stream. Ren mutters to himself.
Strange bit of magic there. But shall we regroup with the party since we have retrieve our supplies.
Right, let's go.
And I'm going to pack a little bit of my tea, like just a little of both, because diplomacy and tea go together very well.
All right.
And I'm gonna get my baguette. Because baguette is good. Hehe.
I suppose you have a knife hidden in that baguette.
Yep.
He's got a dagger.
All right. So after a little bit, you gather together with everybody. And like I said, there are two administrators who are going. Both of them are halflings. Two halfling guards, two dragonborn. One of them's Vorat, one of them's Toriel, and then the group of you. I'm assuming that Damien's going to be taking point and guiding everybody through, because you guys know where to go and you've been there before. And does anybody want to do anything before you leave or as you go that you've not done yet?
I have a sneaking idea. Can I like hide one of my daggers into one of the buckets that I bring?
You mean just open the bread and then put the whole knife in there and then close it back up?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it
So-
open back up and the knife would fall out? Or do you mean you're going to stab it into the baguette? I don't know your technique here. That you're working with.
Like, I don't want to like cut it open, so it's. I want. Oh, I don't know what to say.
Here.
This.
I've got an idea. Cut it in half, bury the knife end in one side, and then put the other around the hilt and handle. So it makes like an awkward baguette sandwich that can't really open. It has to be sort of unsheathed.
My idea is if in emergency situation, I'm gonna like throw a baguette to the Sahuagin's mouth, and the knife inside will just tear up their digestion tract.
How is this going to be more
Really?
efficient than just throwing a knife at their head?
You know, they don't see it coming. Like, oh, this is a bag.
Ran, come on.
I mean, you can do this, but it's going to be a lot more complicated than you probably would want.
They probably already know we're coming at least mildly armed. I don't want to say moderately. That sounds like we're coming in force, but we're at least armed enough for self-defense.
I mean, we've got guards. We're pretty armed.
No, yeah, we're the escort. Of
Mhm.
course, we're armed. Okay. I'll still bring the baguette though.
I mean, no one can stop you from bringing bread that you purchased anywhere you want. You can even put the knife in there if you want. But I'm just saying, like, if it's a matter of you're going to do something in a time of emergency, anything you can do with a baguette stuffed with a knife that essentially amounts to there's a knife in there, you can just do with a knife. But I mean, do what you want. It could work out in a way that, like, you know, would be a way that wouldn't be able to do anything if there would be just a knife. But just the way you're describing it, very complicated.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I'm gonna just open the baguette just a bit, just a hole that can fit, that the knife can fit in, and then just shove it in and close the hole back up.
All right. I mean, sure. You scoop out some of the bread innards. Put the knife in there. Just eat the bread innards.
And then close it back up with something.
You now have the world's most perishable scabbard.
Yes.
Actually, once it gets stale, it might be pretty tough.
It's not dwarvish bread.
That's why I said once it gets stale. We gotta wait a while. Dwarfish bread is ready immediately. Alright, anyway.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So as you head out and go into the area, you can see pretty immediately that there aren't grung in the traditional patrol areas, like seeming to be sentries getting ready to shoot at you, but you can tell pretty soon after you enter in that there's a small detachment of grung that look like they've been assigned to track everybody and follow them along, make sure they're actually going where they say they're going. Don't try any funny business. The grung don't seem to be any like spellcasters or anything, just blues and greens, standard short bows and daggers and everything. One of them's holding what looks like just a regular stick, but holding it with a lot of intensity.
What is
Can I
wrong with you
insight
guys?
the one with the stick, please?
Yeah.
Determine motive.
Ooh.
I mean, it's kind of like pointed on one end. Might be able to like throw it at somebody.
I think I think I'm gonna whisper a little bit, just to the rest of the party. I think they've gone a little mad. One of them seems to be wielding a stick.
Can I insight check that stick man?
Sure.
See, is Lucian whispering like where I can hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been kind of like
Yeah.
around me, very softly.
I'm gonna give Lucian a very strange look and whisper back.
Oh.
I'm wielding a stick with a metal block on the end. We're fine.
So you have a natural 20. You actually like saw this grung for a little bit before, and you know in general about how these sorts of things work. That stick is an arcane focus for something. You've not seen this grung cast any spells, but
Oh, okay. That's weird.
so they've got a magic user with them. And because it's a natural 20, I'm kind of... You wouldn't know this in character, but it's Badoom Plop.
Ha ha ha.
I know it immediately.
I'm gonna attack that one little grung. And that
Oh god.
grung.
Can I
Dangerous.
insight check Rand before he attacks?
Yeah, can we slow this down to have reactions against
No.
one of our party members possibly
No, like-
failing this
I'm pushing 200.
or this negotiation?
So if I have the opportunity, I'm gonna grab Rand by the scruff of the neck.
No,
Are
no,
you
no, no, no.
actually,
Like,
going to be attacking?
no, like tagging. Like, I'm gonna watch the grung with watchful eyes. Not like attacking.
Tracking
Okay.
effectively.
Okay, we misheard you, Rand. Sorry.
Yeah, I heard attack and I was about to blow a key point.
I absolutely heard attacking too. Okay, misunderstanding cleared up.
So the natives seem to be out in force. Let's continue on our way.
Just out of curiosity, how tall is Ran?
How tall is Ran? I don't think I was ever given the specifics of that.
Oh no. Uh, wait. Um, 6 feet maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like
So picking him up by the scruff of the neck would probably not be operable for 5'10" Daxmir. But you get the general idea. Just curious. Anyway, carry on.
kind of forgot about that one. Oops.
Yeah, like you don't have to immediately be like, this exact number of inches and centimeters and whatever. Like, you know, if you want to have like canonical heights for Rand, you can decide that later if you think it's a big decision to make right now. Unless you had like 6 feet exactly be what you wanted it to be. In which case, sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, which one?
Yeah, no worries. I was just wondering about the height differential.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on then.
All right. So, yeah, Damien knows the way through at this point. Is taking point of the group and is leading everybody into the tent, into the area with the tents, the general encampment. As you enter in, when you went in the first time, it seemed to be not casual as such, but like a lot less directed. Like there was a group of people that was out and surrounding you and bringing you in, but there were several separate groups once you were there who were like walking around talking about their own things, sending people in, bringing people out, things like that. At this point, everybody present is out, like circling around the perimeter of the camp, looking out at you, and Kel Solak is sitting out in the front near one of the tents, watching you enter.
So out of the whole Grung and Sahuagin and otherwise bunch, it's only he and the Valenti that speak common, right?
It seems like it. There were a few of the Sahuagin that can speak like a couple sentences of common, but he and the Malenti seem to be the two that are capable of carrying on full conversations.
Okay.
Seeing that that they are effectively being surrounded by everybody, the two halfling guards seem to just immediately go on edge. Vorat seems a little more immediately discerning of the situation, looking back and forth around them, trying to get stock of the situation.
I suppose I'll take a look at Kelsolak and give him a respectful bow. Kelsolak, good to see you again.
after a second or so after you guys have entered into the camp, Lucian makes this gesture, and Kelsolak seems to like relax a little bit, like some level of formality has been just achieved by accident, and makes a sweeping arm motion toward one of the tents, and and says something in Sahuagin, and the Malenti walks out, looking over at everyone.
I will quickly relay it to the administrators as well that this being is referred to as the Malenti and to be addressed as such. Just rather quickly before we begin any type of discussion.
Dax is kind of like he's staying back like wherever Vorat's at, and kind of like whatever, he's kind of hanging back with the guards. And he'll kind of take his cues from them, unless Toriel kind of gives him, the high sign or something.
So the Malenti walks out, looks over the group. Kelsolak is there also. Seems to be preparing to cast something, but she turns back, seems to shut him down. Is the Malenti's looking over at everybody? Which of you speaks? And the collection of them are talking amongst themselves for a bit there. The administrators and Toriel are discussing. I just realized, due to the way that I'm framing all of this, unless you guys decide to get directly involved, this whole conversation is going to be between a bunch of NPCs.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you can just sort of like summarize a little bit, unless there's something real critical. But I mean,
Yeah,
Daxter's got to hang back, unless he's directly required.
Lucian's going to do what he does, and he retains, as it were. I will be sort of a mediary, but nothing more.
While they are talking, can I sense any, like, something dangerous, like an ambush or something?
You mean whether the Sahuagin look like they're going to ambush you, or whether it seems like there's something like around in the area that could like attack the whole group, or?
Yeah, like something that could attack the group, like ambush spot, hiding spot, etc.
I'm going to say make a perception check.
That's a 5.
If there's anything going on around here, it's you're very distracted by how tense the situation is becoming in general. Just gonna look up how long this lasts. Okay. Sorry, that's for something else. Yes, the situation is sort of starting to become generally kind of tense. The Malenti is seeming to come from an environment where people of important religious persuasion are speaking for the whole group, and Toriel is trying to take charge of the conversation because of that, but the administrators are also trying to like have their own interactions and introductions and things of that nature. And as you probably remember from your interaction with Toriel before, she's not the most friendly in general toward the Sahuagin. So
Okay.
this isn't just for Ren, this is for everybody. Like, Ren's perception check was just like there's not a whole lot that he sees right now. But this narration is for
I suppose, given a second, I will begin to at least try to mitigate any possible open hostilities. I will start to make tea if I could, as a refreshment for any interested party, but mainly just to kind of show that I have a relaxed demeanor and am comfortable around both parties.
So the situation is like the Malenti has come out and has asked who's going to speak for the group, and like
yeah, and
Toriel and the
she
halflings are like still trying to discuss what's going to happen.
well, it's at this point like it's been maybe like a minute or so, and she's talking about who's speaking for the group. The whole thing that I was going to start with having her say was who speaks for your gods. Essentially, like, it's seeming like the an important sort of thing in Sahuagin culture is that the people of general like religious affiliation are seen as valuable for these sorts of negotiations. So Toriel is trying to take charge of the interaction, but it's seeming like there's some level of tension there because she's as you remember before, not super keen on most of the businesses Sahuagin have been, working with. I'm saying this not great.
No, I got that part. I was just like, is like the Malenti just standing there waiting for one of them to like?
No,
respond to her,
they've
or-
at this point they've been having a conversation, but I've been
Okay.
summarized because I don't want to have it be like that 4 NPCs that I am playing are all talking for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
That is understandable. Trust me.
Totally understandable. I was just trying to make sure I understood what exactly was like playing out in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh gosh. Dax really does not want to stick his neck out again. If does Toriel have her holy symbol out?
Yeah, Toriel, like most clerics of her rank, usually keeps it out.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Daxmir would have had his. He probably would have. Hmm. Are the guards doing anything? Are they getting antsy?
The two halfling guards have been seeming on edge since they arrived. Vorad is seeming a bit more of a controlled presence, but like it seems like the group as a whole, the administrators are the ones who seem most unnerved by just everybody in the camp opening in and surrounding them. And And like I was mentioning before, the Malenti, like when she talks and when she's communicating, regardless of the emotion, like the emotional content of her words, her face is usually like almost entirely expressionless, which is probably a little unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, it would make her totally hard to read. Inside check could be hi, DC. Okay. Gosh.
If I could mildly interject, Daxmir, could I walk up next to you and ask what Toriel's rank and title may be?
Do I know?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to actually address Toriel with some form of prestige to sort of at least emphasize who might be our leader, I suppose.
I mean, all I know off the top of my head is that she's the the highest rank as far as is she the highest rank at the temple, or is she just the highest rank of among the Bahamut worshippers?
Among like the temple that's here in town, she's the highest ranking because yeah, just in general, she's in charge of general temple business and was fairly high ranking in just general Bahamut worshippers before she was assigned out here.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I mean, do they get called anything in particular? Like, are they called sister or brother? Are they called anything like that, or do they just go by first name?
Perhaps head priestess of the Temple of Bahamut.
Yeah. I was thinking something along the lines of like head priestess would probably be an appropriate title.
That was something I knew Daxmir would know. I just hadn't gotten around to asking it yet.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay, I'll relay that to Lucy.
yeah, with that general bit of knowledge and this strange stalemate at the very start of it, I will approach Toriel and announce, Head Priestess Toriel, would you care for a cup of tea while we start these negotiations?
Are you sure that's wise right now?
I would insist. And along with that, I would also indicate towards the Malenti. Might I ask, has your culture ever experienced brewing of certain herbal plant matter? It creates quite a therapeutic aroma, and perhaps I could offer you a cup to sample as we begin these discussions.
I'd be willing to work with that sort of peace offering. I can hardly guarantee I'll like it, but that's because, well, lack of experience. But I recognize the gesture. Thank you.
Indeed, and I will,
I've got one.
I guess,
Okay.
I mean, if I had sort of slyly started preparing it over some form of heat, I would pull it and sort of beckon at least both parties into the tent to start this, as it were.
So the group sort of just reshapes itself as the leaders are moving into the tent. The Sahuagin and the Grung are changing their position and sort of forming just a wide semicircle, and the guards that are going with the administrators and with Toriel are moving forward around the sides, and I'm going to assume the three of you are going into the tent with the Malenti and Kelsolak and Toriel. because it would make like sense for all three of you to be in there at the same time.
Yeah.
How many people are going to fit in there?
I'm gonna say like as like since between the three of you, them. I'm gonna say it's gonna be kind of cramped, but it'll be enough space. I mean, if one of you wants to stay outside, that'd be.
Where are the guards moving in as they go in there? Like closer, I mean.
Yeah, as everybody's changing position, the guards are changing position. Because before the guards were just sort of circling around everybody, and now it's they're changing position to accommodate the fact that everybody's in the tent.
Okay. Oh gosh. You know, since he hasn't specifically been signaled by Toriel to go in, he's going to kind of like stay. Are the guards close enough that he might be able to hear what's going on inside?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then he'll kind of stay back with the guards.
And if I could, as a last sort of gesture of show, I would like to relinquish my sword to one of the guards as I enter the tent.
To one of the Sahuagin guards or Grung guards that are outside?
Let me give it to Virat, just because I've already had the pleasure with him, so
What they're using that so they can see better.
Undo it from my waist and hand it over to him, sort of not like forcefully or anything, but sort of emphasizing the fact that I am disarming myself.
All right. Yeah, he takes note of that, and then noticing that some of the Sahuagin seem to be moving in a little closer when there's now just an unsheathed weapon that's in the hand of one of the Dragonborn, places it on the ground next to him, and they move back some.
The guards are staying armed, right? Or did they disarm us?
The guards are staying armed, and the Sahuagin around the perimeter are also armed.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk around the base to, sightsee
Okay,
the
so
base.
Ran, you're staying outside the tent?
Yeah. I don't like this bureaucracy thingy.
Okay. So then there's going to be more space in there. So the Malenti, after you brew the tea and she starts drinking it, she gets like a couple of sips in and then seems to like react to just this very hot beverage and just puts it down. Just seems to be just leaving it there, in a polite sort of sense, but it's pretty clear from the first couple of sips she's taken that it's not really usual for Sahuagin to just ingest boiling water on purpose.
I will take no mind to it and just continue with my drink. Because I would have poured myself one as well.
Toriel is just drinking it in a typical sort of fashion, and the conversation at this point is turning to the Malenti is trying to hold Toriel and the others in the town accountable for the actions of the other halflings. They are your people. They are your responsibility. They acted when you were present, and therefore they're likely linked to your activity. You need to keep an eye on the people in your service. And Toriel's responding like trying to dissuade any sort of connection with these other people that are, if they are from the group that was moving in, they're acting without orders and without permission and things like that. And Ran, while you're outside, make another perception check.
Oh, yes. Another 20.
Oh boy.
All right. So you can see that a couple of the Sahuagin on the edge of the perimeter are starting to act like, with a natural 20. It's fairly clear that their movement is awkward and artificial. Like it seems like they're acting in an unusual I had more words at the beginning of the day. Whatever. I'm just going to use simpler words for this. The Sahuagin at the edge of the perimeter are acting in awkward and artificial manner, moving in a way that seems like they're being just controlled remotely by an outside source, and they are moving in and taking a portion of the circle with them. It starts out like the circle sort of moves with them, like they're sort of thinking that it's breaking into a new shape from some contingency orders, but it becomes fairly clear fairly quickly that these mind-controlled Sahuagin are breaking away from the group, and two of them rush in and attempt to attack the two halfling guards.
Do I see this?
Yes, you see this. You're also outside.
I am going to to fling myself in between them and the two Sahuagin.
I'm gonna use cunning action to dash and just, I don't know what to do. Slash one of the Sahuagins with my rapier.
By the way, there are three Sahuagin who are moving forward like this.
I'm gonna pick one that is the closest to the halfling. Or are they like same distances?
Yeah, they're going forward at the same time.
I'm gonna strike the one that is closer to me, I guess.
Okay, hang on, I gotta check something.
All right.
Are they close enough so I get sneak attack?
I'm gonna say since the halfling guards are considered your allies, and they're being attacked right now, but they could attack back if they wanted to. So I'm gonna count it as sneak attack.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Do I roll now?
Yes.
Advantage, cause surprise. Do I get advantage? Because the Saiyan is surprised that I'm able to connection dash them.
No. Advantage would be like if you jumped out from hiding or something like that. Like advantage for these sorts of things would be if they actually were just unable to see you.
Oh, okay. 30-20.
Okay.
So who's died?
So it took a while for us to get to the point where like the first hour or so of this was just like people going around town talking, having their community service, and the next hour was organizing everything, moving out, trying to have some negotiations, and then just a couple of minutes ago, Rand noticed that some of the Sahuagin were being mind controlled because he did a natural 20 on his perception check and were able to tell that their
Yo,
movements were weird.
Naga.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and some of the Sahuagin, came in and tried to attack the guards who were outside the tent, and
Wait, what? Tent? What?
they went to everybody went to the Sahuagin camp, the
Uh-huh.
surface camp that the Sahuagin had, and there were some tents that were set up outside for, like the Malenti and other people to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucian went into Lucian and some of the others went into tents so that he could make tea and have a more a more controlled negotiation environment because things were starting to get tense.
Oh. Hey, you know what'll help it being tense?
I wasn't describing it super well, the actual events, because I was trying to be like I was trying to be concise without having a conversation between 4 NPCs at the same time, but that just resulted in me saying the same thing like 3 separate times. So it's kind of an
We're
embarrassment
fine.
on
Don't
my
worry.
part. But we eventually got somewhere.
Nice.
You deserve a dab for that, Ren. I will dab for you too.
Can I also shout at the people that is inside the tent? Attack! Attack!
Sure,
God,
can.
that's gonna be misunderstood.
Crap.
Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know what
context.
Daxmir's gonna do. Are we in initiative? Or should we be?
Yeah, you should be.
Okay, let's roll.
Oh yeah, I need my character sheet. Ha! Oops.
Oh, lovely.
Thanks, sidekick.
My dex score has got to
What the-
improve. It's getting ridiculous.
So what's everybody's initiative? Got
Dang it!
Good
the
job.
tracking document open.
Oh my!
Oh
Well, you
no.
show up late, Caster. That's what you get.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Unfortunately, I also have a 2, so
Oh, did you really? What the hell?
yeah.
Oh, you did! Because you have a minus in it.
But before we entered initiative, Daxmir simply threw himself between the 2 Sahuagin, or 3 Sahuagin, and the halfling guards. No, like attack move. Just like I'm getting in there in front of them.
Maybe
And
you're kind
I
of
mean-
pinned between them or something.
All right, what was your initiative, Ran?
11.
All right. So, Lucian, you are actually first up after that initial attack that Rand did. and you hear like some movement from outside. You hear Rand say attack really loudly twice, and there seems to be something very untoward going on out there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to ruin these negotiations. So I will gently set my tea down, apologize to both parties. Seems that there has been something of a minor setback. I will have to go take care of. Please remain calm and stay here. And I will get up, exit the tent. How far away are they?
The Malenti is already up, and Toriel gets up like 2 seconds later, like hearing this commotion from outside.
All right. Well, I'll step out of the tent first. How far are they from me?
They are about 10 feet away.
I want to make a note. Daxmir has his shield up, but he has not drawn his weapon. He's just
Okay.
up and holding his shield in between himself and the Sahuagin in front of the 2 halfling guards.
Okay.
And how grouped together are they?
There are 2 that are fairly close together and one that's approaching from the other side.
All right. I'm going to get in between the 2. I'm going to unarmed attack and flurry of blows.
Okay?
Oh my.
So first attack is 6 damage.
All right. Is this on the same Sahuagin that ran already attacked?
Let's start with his friend there.
Okay, so the one next to him?
Yes, and the 9 will go to him. 9 to hit.
So you're attacking 2 different ones?
Yes, I'm coordinating my flurry of blows between the 2.
Okay.
And I'm assuming a 9 doesn't hit, so I'm going to roll my third one against the original person that I had hit.
Yeah.
So the third attack, 16 to hit with 5 damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout to Lucian. They seem to be mind controlled. Be careful.
So this means, just to double check here, I know I already said this, but I was writing it down and then I realized like I might have misunderstood. So all 3 of the attacks that have hit so far have been on the same one?
Yes, it would have been.
Okay.
Interrupt.
And I'm going to announce back to Ran, take them alive.
Alright,
We need
mine's
to know
on
who
C,
did
so
this.
somebody take-
Yeah, okay.
So please pull your punches. And if I happen to fell that one that I was able to hit twice, I would have pulled my punch at the last second.
It's a duel.
He is pretty significantly wounded, but is still up.
All right, good to know.
And still attacking?
Yes, still attacking.
Alright.
Oh wait, that's what it was. I forgot to roll for the Sahuagin initiative. Hold on. I knew that I'd forgotten something. They have a +0 to Dex naturally, because they naturally have an 11 to Dex. So it's just a straight D20 roll, and okay, 12. Okay. Alright. So, now that Lucian is gone, the Sahuagin go immediately afterward. And focus their attacks evenly across the three guards and on... Hold on. They make 3 attacks each. So I can just roll all of their to hits at the same time. Wait, no, because they have +1 and then plus is more to hit. Okay, fine. That's fine. Is there a way to roll like multiple copies of the same roll in this system? In this sidekick system?
Got me.
Instead of rolling like 2D whatever.
Yeah, so that I can add the modifiers to it properly.
Not to my knowledge. Like, copy paste, so it's easier and you don't have to type it each time, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the modifier too, you could just roll the amount of d20s that you need and just sort of tack it onto each. But other than that, I really can't think of much.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be a bit more work, but it's still gonna be easier than rolling 9 separate times. Yeah?
Can I assume that I got my strength damage fixed last night when I went
Oh
to the
yeah.
temple?
Yeah, that
Okay.
repairs itself after a rest.
Okay,
Ooh,
thank
so
you.
we did get a rest then.
Yeah.
Let me go fix
Yeah,
this
after last night there was a big thing where everybody was
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
good point.
getting together for the night.
Good point, good point.
So I'm gonna say it's a rotation, which means
Oh no.
Vora, one of the
9d20.
No, this is all their to hits at once for all of their attacks.
So 9 Hagen.
9 attacks. They get 3 attacks.
Wow. OP as hell.
So that would be bite, crit spear. I'm just gonna hold on. This is the big one, so I'm just gonna roll this one first.
How the heck do they get 3 attacks each?
Oh, you're right. When they're holding a weapon, they get 2. So they are all holding weapons. I want to roll all those again. I'm just gonna say the last 3 don't count.
Can we say the first 3 don't count?
How about skip the first one and the next 3 don't count?
Yeah, can we make that 20 not count? That would be great.
It's not to you. It's to one of the NPCs, but
But I don't want them to die.
that's fair. That's a good.
We have healers.
Me caster. Anyway.
Oh, that's right. That's why that was how that was. Okay. And the others are. Man, this could have been a lot easier if I had properly planned out how all this was going to go beforehand, instead of doing one thing, doubling back, doing another thing, doubling back, and then
You could like type it into a text and then like copy paste, unless you're already doing that.
That's what I'm trying to do. It's not copy pasting this right properly. All right, Daxmir, I remember your armor class was 16, right?
17.
17. Okay. So that last one even doesn't get through. So forget about that 3 damage there. Vorat takes a pretty noticeable 12 damage.
Ow.
The other 2 attacks are bites, and they are fairly glancing, but the Sahuagin just start wildly attacking Dax and the guards that Dax is standing in front of and trying to protect.
But it's still just those 3, right? What are the other ones doing? Standing around looking at each other?
You scare me
No,
when
no,
you...
the other ones are moving in and trying to restrain them, but
Okay.
these ones seem to be moving like unnaturally fast, so they got kind of a head start. And also it was just like a sudden like what are they doing? We had orders. So they're gonna take a turn to respond properly.
Were any of those attacks targeted at me at all?
No.
Okay,
They seem to be mostly focusing on the halflings and dragonborn.
okay.
And Dax because he was in the way.
Okay, I'm not sure I did this right because 16 is what it says for chainmail, plus 2 for my shield. So why do I have a 17 armor class? I am confused.
Don't you add your dex too? So wouldn't that make you 19?
Not with chainmail.
Maybe you added in like you thought it would be a Dex modifier. I remember you saying you had a -1 to Dex.
No, that's initiative. What did I do? Oh well, we'll figure it out. I'll take it to text.
Anyway, so until that gets handled, Ran and then Tirza and then Daxmir.
So my turn.
Yeah. So I was wondering why everybody was quiet. I was like, oh wait, probably I didn't say the completed initiative order once I was done. It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
It's okay, we're good.
It's okay, we're good. After hearing from Lucian that we shouldn't kill this Hagen boss, well, can I use bludgeoning damage to knock out the Sahagins with my rapier?
You don't do bludgeoning damage. That's not how that works, but you can choose to be non-lethal with your attack if it's like the attack that brings it down. So
It's only with melee attacks too.
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna strike the Sahagin that I crit, but non-lethal.
Just don't say you cut it in twain or cut it in 2 and then try to say, oh, but non-lethally.
That's really hard to do with a rapier.
Well, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
oh my god.
I stab him in half.
I was trying to make a joke, but okay.
You might be able to.
Sorry, Lucian. Too much strength. Too much. Sneak attack.
Is this on the one that's already damaged?
Yeah.
Okay. You get double your weapon dice, remember? Maybe double your sneak attack dice too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was, but I forgot specific.
Another one.
I mean, you could probably take down a non-injured one with 26 damage. Jeez.
Yeah.
Subdue.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal.
Actually, you could, by the way, Caster.
Right, Naga, take down a non-lethally, a non-injured one, por favor, please.
Because of that, I am going to have it make a Constitution saving throw. Like, even though it was a non-lethal, that is a bunch of damage. And if it fails
Please fail.
this... Indeed, no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You tried your hardest to be non-lethal about this, but a natural 1 versus a natural 20, he's dead. You killed him.
He can be fixed. Or is that like absolute dead, or
Dead,
we
dead.
can- Oh no.
I mean, clearly we have some halflings that can fix just about anybody.
Well, yeah, we have Toriel along too, so
I was referring to the necromancer.
well that too.
I look back to Lucian after seeing the corpse and say, whoops. And I end my turn.
So, Tears, it's your move.
Okay.
Rand just gutted this Sahuagin in front of you.
Whoops.
I want to try something. It may de-escalate the situation. Kinda. Not the Tears is one for de-escalation, but there's been something she's been itching to try. She'll look at a non-injured Sahuagin. She'll just stare at it and say, "You don't take another step." And please roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay?
Against, I guess, spell casting DC or whatever. Spell mod. I don't friggin' know.
Yeah, so that should be.
So what is. I always forget what that is. Crap.
It's charisma +2 plus. Oh god, now I'm blanking on it. I think it's 3.
That doesn't. Hold on.
It's 8 plus your casting modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
That's what it was. The 8. I completely
Okay,
blanked
so
on that
15.
one.
15. I need to freaking put this somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna put this here for now.
I mean, it's on your character sheet, or it should be.
It's not. I need to fix that.
You don't have the casting sheet?
No,
Thought I
I
gave
need
it
to
to
redo this. I only had a couple of spells, so I didn't bother, but now I have more spells. Dang it, you still... Okay, yeah, so she's all, like, trying to be badass, and then literally nothing happens. And that's my turn.
Yeah, the Sahuagin stops. You see, like, you feel kind of a resistance to the magic. Like there's two different enchantment spells that are trying to happen at the same time, and the Sahuagin says in that like awkward snaggle-toothed common, "Why?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were 5 years old.
No, you had said like, "Don't take another step."
No,
Like-
I know. I feel like that... Yeah. Because I said so, damn it.
Go to your room.
Calling the Sahuagin by all his names.
Don't make me get your father. Lucian!
Not sure how Lucian became dad, but somehow it happened.
Yeah, he's elf dad.
So Dex,
Yes.
your move.
My move is to cast Shield of Faith on myself and continue to be a shield wall. Because 2 of them are still attacking, right?
Yes.
Okay, that bumps my... Okay, so as far as I can figure, for some reason I put down 17, but it should be 18. 16 chainmail, 2 shield, right?
Yeah.
As far as I can't figure
Unless
out
there's
why
some kind of penalty.
I can't figure out what that would have been. I don't know where my brain was. Anyway,
Yeah, I've
so
not
yeah,
found any like oozes or rust monsters yet.
so that should put me at a 20 AC temporarily with Shield of Faith. And let's see. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. Oh, and that's a bonus action actually. I'm going to. So is it a regular action to draw, or is that like a free action?
Yeah,
Is
no,
that-
that's an object interaction to just
Okay.
draw your weapon. You have
Okay.
an object interaction in addition to everything else per turn.
Okie doke. I'm sure not gonna move, so anyway, you see Daxmir say something in Draconic and a little shimmer goes over him, and but he takes his Warhammer out but does not attack yet, and just continues holding his shield up between himself and the Sahuagin attacking in front of the 2 halfling guards. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm staying put. And that's it. I'm done. I want to be very obviously defending.
Okay. So so what are you Oh, I'm pretty sure there's an action.
The dodge action, possibly. If
Hey,
you haven't
Bluma,
taken your action.
It's saying that
Yeah, can I hold an action to dodge if they like?
Yeah,
I bet-
it causes disadvantage on any attack against you. That's what the dodge action is for, is because you
what
focus
it
so
might have
much
been
on
on the
defending
roll.
yourself.
Let me
You
look at something real
little-
quick here.
Shit.
You don't?
Oh, I can impose disadvantage on attack rolls on these guys anyway as a reaction, but it's not their turn. So, shoot, I could have. Dang it, I could have done that on their previous turn. Ah,
Is that the protector fighting glass?
that is protection fighting style. Yes. Yeah, you can't really hold a reaction, can you? You just have to wait until it
A
turns.
reaction is something that you use automatically.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll wait until their turn. If the combat's still going on, then I'll react, and I can.
Yeah, it's still
Disadvantage their
it's still going on for now. You see that several of the Sahuagin have broken formation and have tackled the one down that had gone away by its that had gone away from the group by itself. But the other one, the one that had come from the side where there were 2 of them, has less. Have less. There are fewer people over there to hold that one down, so it's still going. And it's Lucian's turn.
Okie doke.
All right. Well, noticing what Ran has done and how
can we take our break
things have
now?
been sort of turned sideways, you'll notice Lucian's expression
You
has
better
changed
share, Connor.
to an extremely stern, calm, pissed off expression. His presence grows immensely,
Forever hold your peace.
and I will just flurry of blows into this remaining Sahuagin.
You
Okay.
done made Dad mad.
non-lethally?
Oh yeah, I still have the calm demeanor to incapacitate him without killing him, but
Okay.
I'm just laying everything into him. So an 18, a 16, and a 6.
Yeah, the 18 and the 16 both hit.
So that's looking like 3 and 6 damage. So 9 damage total.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. The Sahuagin tries to lunge forward to try and finish off Vorat, and Lucian just throws it back with several just swift, angry punches to the face with this, your immediate looming presence so immense that it can be seen even out of context. Like, even the Sahuagin sees that you look significantly larger than usual in the split second before it gets just punched in the face a bunch. And now it is its turn, and it gets up, shoulders past, and it's trying to... That's not the right thing. +3. Oh wait, no, 2 attacks. All right, and tries and fails twice to finish Vorat off. Once just barely missing as Vorat like brings up an arm in a block at the last minute. His armor class is 14. Ran, what do you do?
Rand puts down his weapons and sits in a corner.
Hold on, I forgot to do one thing. No, that's not enough for it to break out. Do you want Kriv to be doing something? You haven't turned your microphone on, so I didn't know if you wanted to participate.
Because now I am 100% okay.
Woohoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome
everything
to
is
team.
everything's good now. So you want me to just roll initiative and you place me?
Can you turn that music down? Because if it's every time you're talking, I'm going to be hearing that. You're going to be a little difficult to understand.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that I even had it playing.
That's okay. I mean, it looks like this fight's probably going to last not that much longer, but yeah, you can roll initiative. And, in fact, if you want, since it's been multiple turns and you could have gone by now, you can go right now.
Okay. How many Sahuagin are left?
One of them is still there, but it's being restrained by 3 of the others, and there's one that's still there that's mildly damaged and is trying to finish off Vorat, who is one of the higher ranking guards in town and has already been heavily damaged by a critical hit with a spear.
See if I have anything non-lethal besides just a magic missile.
Melee attacks can be used for non-lethal damage. Like you can choose between lethal and non-lethal options.
I don't think a fire blast would be best right now. I don't need to hurt anyone else. Uh, yeah, I think I'll just do unarmed attack.
Okay.
And a miss.
Yeah, you're not used to resorting to your fists for things for a long time. It's been a while since you've had to use any sort of fisticuffs at all. So you hit, but it's not nearly with any sort of force that could cause any sort of damage. The Sahuagin looks at you, snarls, and then just returns to its previous target.
I imagine it's that moment where like two people punch each other and then both of them get hurt, but I'm the only person that got hurt. So like I punch them and then I just like hold my hand. I'm like, ow, why?
Yeah. Bruises. Anyway.
Jesus, these initiative rolls. God damn.
All right. So, Ran, what do you do?
I'm just gonna forget about the Saiyan that is already dead and jumps up to the other one who is attacking Voron. Voron? Yeah, Voron.
For
Yeah, that
Vorat.
one. Vorot. $15.
Yep, that lands.
Non-lethally, alright. Non-lethal.
Yeah. Before you crit, did over its health in damage, and then it rolled a 1 on saving throw against system shock death. That was just super unfortunate.
Non-lethal. 11 damage, non-lethal.
All right. So you take the blade, still covered in the just blood of the last Sahuagin, and drive it into this other one with another pretty significant wound, but one that doesn't bring it down yet.
Bring it on. And I end my turn. EOT.
And now Tirza.
Her hand just sort of like twitches toward her chest, where the crystal is sitting underneath her shirt. Like, she wants to blast this thing. And she'll just kind of snarl wordlessly to herself. And instead, because there's still the Sahuagin in melee with what's his face, right?
Yeah, there's one
What's his
Sahuagin
name?
that's still in melee.
Warg something.
Yeah.
What's his face? I forget.
Vorat.
Borat. Okay, thank you.
No, Vorat.
Okay, so she's not gonna get
I
involved.
specifically made it clear at the beginning of yes, that's how that's spelled. I specifically made it clear at the beginning of the session. No, it's not a B. Not a B, it's a V. Nobody's gonna have him say, my wife.
So she's not gonna get involved in all
Not
that.
married.
But how much damage has Vorat taken?
It's 12 damage. And it seems to be a pretty significant amount.
Okay, so then in that case, he's gonna go almost all the way back up to full
Okay.
with a healing light, and I now have. I say this for posterity, so hopefully one of us remembers. One. Wait, no, hold on. Is 1 plus level? Yeah. So I have currently 1 d6 of healing light left. So I guess her hand will, her kind of still vaguely twitching hand will just sort of glow. And then, yeah, he feels better. Because not gonna have these kind of issues. If the friggin' fear thing didn't work, this will have to do.
All right.
Oh, wait, is that a bonus action now that I think about it? Oh shoot, that is a bonus action. I can do a thing.
Ah,
Oh, what do I want to do though? No. Is anybody else injured? Like Dax, how are you? Didn't you get hit?
there are some minor injuries to the two halfling guards who were also attacked by
Eh,
the
whatever.
Sahuagin that Rand brought down,
Whatever.
but yeah. Nothing more than like 5 damage or so.
Okay, but the
They're
party's
gonna, they're gonna
okay?
be okay.
I am actually a-okay.
Okay. Okay, then we won't worry about that.
Am I okay?
I don't know, Ran. I don't know your character sheet. Are you okay?
Ultra, did I get any damage?
No, they've not been focusing on you. They've been trying to attack the escort party.
Okay,
And
Roger.
Dax was attacked because he was in the way.
Okay, here's a thought. Okay, this is random. Can I? Here's my thought. A loud like noise of some sort right near the ear of the attacking Sahuagin. Just to
What do you have in mind?
startle it of some sort, like a, I don't know, like a
What do you have in
I don't know,
mind?
like even just like a clap of thunder or something. No, just something to startle it.
Like, what do you have in mind to do that? I mean,
Oh, just a minor illusion.
Okay,
Sorry, I forgot to specify that.
okay.
Does that track?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that does. I'm gonna.
So, not, damaging, obviously, but just,
Yeah. I'm gonna say.
I'm afraid anything I do would be problematic.
I'm gonna say Constitution save. Oh.
Well then. Sidekick does not like me. Except for healing.
So yeah, there's this sudden loud booming sound, and the Sahuagin flinches a bit, but seems entirely unaffected.
Okay. Fair. So that'll be my turn then.
All right.
I just realized I should have cast Mage Armor. Oh well. I think we're close anyway.
Daxmere,
Yes.
it's your turn.
Okay. Dooby-dooby-doo. Okay, so are the halfling guards like staying behind me? They're not like cussing me out or like trying to run away or anything?
Yeah, they're recognizing what you're trying to do, and
Okay.
they saw Vorat get just speared really bad, and they're willingly staying behind you.
Okay. Let's see. But do I still have 2 Sahuagin on me, or just 1?
Just the one. The other one's being held down by some of his fellows.
Can I like shield bash him?
Yeah,
Like to try to like just kind of bash him away? Okay, I
Yeah.
have no idea how to do that. Do I just do like a I don't know.
Are you trying to knock him prone, or are you trying to like shove him back?
I
or...
just want to bash him away a little ways, like 5 feet back or something.
Yeah, you can do that. In fact, I
Okay.
think there's a specific rule in here about that. Let me look this up. I already have the action options page open. Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Strength athletics roll contested by an athletics or dexterity check, an athletics or acrobatics check by the target.
So strength check on my part.
Yeah, a strength athletics check on your part.
Ooh, I get to use athletics. That's even better. Are you kidding me?
Ran is the only
Ha.
one who's
Oh, I
allowed to get good
yeah, but I got a
rolls.
nat 1, so.
Yeah. Only Naga can get good rolls today.
Bahamut, why? Like Dax actually would say that if this happens. Oh my
At least you
God.
don't kill someone today.
Yeah, this is true. I signally failed to even hit somebody.
Yeah, the Sahuagin falls back a little bit, is pushed back some, but not anywhere near the length that you wanted it to go. It was just really like a glancing blow. It just moved at the wrong time.
Okay.
Also, no Daxmere pratfall this episode.
No.
Oh, it's still early.
Yeah, you still have an hour to go.
Yeah, but to be honest, that might look better, like for just for optics, for when like the Valenti and like people come out. That might be better optics for me to like appear to be struggling.
Yeah,
So-
at the end of this turn, the Malenti and Toriel emerge from the tent, and the Malenti heads over to the one that's being held down, and appears to be trying to do some kind of magic on him, and he's snarling and trying to bite her.
Okie
But
doke, I'm done.
so now Lucian.
So there's really only one left that is able to continue attacking, right?
Yes.
And is it the one that I've kind of worked on a bit but haven't felled?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to engage with them again, and I'll simply just say calmly in a level tone of voice, "You don't ignore me, cretin." And then I'm going to 2 attacks. I'm out of key points.
Nice.
So I've got a 12 and a 9.
The 12 hits.
Three damage, and that's my turn.
Still not quite enough.
Starting to realize that.
All right. The the other Sahuagin, again, 2 more times, tries and fails to attack Vorat. At this point, Vorat's just trying to, like, shove him back, kind of pushing back and keeping the Sahuagins just gnashing maw and claws at bay. And the other one breaks out of the grapple from the other 3 Sahuagin and bolts. Like still mind controlled, but is just trying to run away from whatever the Malenti is doing.
Wait, did you say it bolted?
Yeah. It's
Well-
trying to run away from whatever the Malenti is doing.
Shoot.
Do I get opportunity attacks? Or is it too far?
No, too far away.
No.
Unless you've got something with a 10-foot reach.
Wait, so I've
I
lost track. How many mind-controlled Sahuagin did we have?
There were 3.
Okay, and we killed one, right?
Yeah.
And there's one on me.
Mm-hmm.
One on
And the other one was being held down for a couple of turns and didn't get close to attack anybody.
Oh, well, who was Lucian hitting? The one on me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, that one did get close enough to attack at first and then was dragged back and subdued. So, yeah. So that's the 3 of them accounted for.
Okay.
So my turn then.
Yes.
Can I intimidate a mind-controlled enemy?
You can, but it's going to be really hard to do.
Um. Can I tackle the Sagan that I attacked for several turns now?
Yeah, you can attack that one again.
Wait, the running one or the one that's attacking Daxmere?
So the one you attacked before.
I thought the
Yeah,
one
the
you attacked
one
before was
that is-
dead.
Oh, no. I want to tackle the one that is running with my cunning action.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just
Wanna
got
tackle
confused.
Okay.
Oh, how do I roll this?
Contested checks.
Strength or dex?
I'm pretty sure that you start something like that with a strength check. I've still got the actions page open. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Oh, stumble. So I only got 3.
Yeah, so you charge forward, try and attack the Sahuagin, and the Sahuagin, almost without having any just even almost without looking at you, just uses your momentum against you and just tosses you to the ground, jumps over your body, and keeps running.
Damn you! I suppose I don't have any action. After that.
I mean, if you just use your bonus action to dash, then yeah, you have your action still.
I'm gonna strike it with my rapier. I'm pissed.
Okay, so you just jump up, use your regular to catch up, and then stab.
Yeah.
All right.
Non-lethal damage.
No, you're out of range of sneak attack, so it would probably be not within insta kill range anyway. But I appreciate you saying non-lethal. All right, that brings him down. I mean, no, that's not brings that. I was mixing them up. That hurts the other one. That would have brought the one that was already damaged down. That hurts the one that's running.
Okay. I'll end my turn then.
Okay. And now, Kriv.
Where are the other hooligans?
One Sahuagin is currently trying to escape from whatever the Malenti is doing, and then Rand tried and failed to tackle it. It's about 60 feet away from you now. The other one is pretty heavily wounded and is really Lucian is, and Daxar, and Lucian and Daxar.
What should I do?
I don't know. I know what I'm gonna do, but
I know what
Like-
I'm gonna
I feel
do.
like Lucian and Dax have the other one that should go after the one that's trying to bolt, but since it's 60 feet, that'd be both my move and my action, and then it'd just get farther away.
Good question, Othra.
Yep.
Can you? I didn't think so, but now I'm wondering. Can you even non-lethal friggin' Eldritch Blast? Is that a thing that exists?
I mean, it's force damage, so I don't think so. I mean-
Shoot, I was afraid of that. That's fair though. Okay, well, then yeah, you go run after it.
Yeah, I'll just use both my movement and action to catch up to this hooligan that's running.
Do you have anything you can do with a bonus action?
That's what I was about to check. I don't think I do.
This one's still got most of its health, so you can probably do something fairly significant, and it won't go down yet. And then somebody else can do non-lethal damage to subdue it.
Then we will magic missile.
Wait, I already established this one was a him, but so him. Wait, is magic missile a bonus action, or do you mean you're like instead of using your dash to get up there, you're staying a while away and magic missiling?
I'll use my movement to run up 30 feet to it, and then I'll use my magic missile to attack it.
Okay.
Four, 5, and 5, so 14.
Has 2 health left. I'm just gonna say that because I wanted you to know how accidentally killing it anyway. Has 2 health left.
That would have been a bad.
Maybe
I
Rand can
forgot
just
I
punch
used
him
Double
next
Synthetic.
turn.
So now it's Tirza and Mentaximir.
Crap.
Yeah, the Sahuagin turns around, is preparing to retaliate to Rand's stabbing, and then just the magic missiles just pound into the side and bring it right to death's door. Him right to death's door.
Now, because radiant damage is all nice, that could surely be non-lethal, right? Eh. I don't know that this makes sense. But I'm trying.
Sorry, just handling something for a second. Are you trying to, like, Sacred Flame?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I mean, I 100% agree it doesn't make sense for Eldritch Blast to be non-lethal because that's just ridiculous. But I don't know if Sacred Flame, if there's an argument to be made that you could, like, non-lethal Sacred Flame something. It's like, it's radiant damage. Surely it wouldn't kill something you didn't want
It's
to.
searing light. It's like basically a laser. Like that's the comparable example for radiant damage.
Yeah,
A
okay,
laser
fair.
beam.
Fair. I have no idea then.
You can just run up to the since you're a little bit farther away, at least I think you were a little bit farther away. Like how close were you to the tent when all this started going down?
I wasn't, like, that player wasn't here, so I don't know.
Well, how close would Tirza have been?
I feel like she's been where everybody else was. Like, to start off with, anyway. Because they were like, what, having a conversation, right?
Well, Dax stayed outside with the guards, and
did he?
Rand stayed outside. Lucian went in, and I would guess most likely Damien would have stayed out too.
Was
If
Lucian
Damien
the
was
only
there.
person who went inside?
I think he might have been actually.
Huh.
All right, so yeah, if
Okay. Outside.
I was gonna say if you were like a fair distance from the tent, you could just like run up and punch the one that has 2 health left and see how that works. But no,
Dang it, that sounds really funny, though.
It does.
I don't know. Can I...
you know what? I'm gonna let you make an athletics check to be able to push yourself to be able to run up and punch.
Alright, let's... This should be interesting. Okay, my headcanon, because I don't think Tears has had much of a pratfall in the way of pratfalls yet. So, I feel like she tries. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna do something physical. And it's and she's working so hard and then just trips.
Yeah, there's just a stray rock someplace.
Yes.
Just dislodges it with her foot as she runs and just collapses in an awkward diagonal slump.
Yes. That's it. Yes. Flat on her face. Just flump. Okay, and that'll be my turn.
Well, the thing I was gonna do is not gonna work. So let me see here.
Well, I mean, you're still in melee with one.
Indeed, I am, and I'm probably going to thwack that one. I was going to try and use command on the one running away because it is technically still within range. However, I don't think it can understand me if I tell it. Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, Ultra, can it understand me if I just tell it to stop? I mean, command is one word anyway.
Do you need to share a language with it?
Yes, it's part of it's in the rules of command. The target spell has no effect if the target doesn't understand your language.
Didn't one of them talk in common though and just said why?
Yeah, but I don't know which one. It was the one you tried to cast a spell.
I forget which one that was.
I don't know either.
That's the other one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. You know what? High or low?
Low.
All right.
Nope.
This hooligan knows absolutely no words in common.
Lovely. All right, then I am just going to hang on a sec here. All right, so if I want to try and smack it with my shield just to like do a little bit of damage because it says that, well, if I want to hit someone with my shield, it is treated as an improvised weapon attack. Thus, it acts as a D1d4 weapon, and proficiency is only granted if I have proficiency in improvised weapons, which I don't think I do.
All right.
So straight strength roll, or
I mean, if you're trying to use an improvised weapon, be a weapon roll without the proficiency modifier. So add your strength to just a standard D20 roll.
okie doke. Finally, jeez, OP. Do I need to add my strength to the damage roll too? If you answered, I missed it.
Yes.
Okay. Whack. Dax takes his shield and just does a swing and whacks it on the head to try and knock it flat. Oh, out.
All right. Some of that had to handle something for a second. Yeah, that's enough to bring it down. So you just whap it on the head with your shield, and it collapses at your feet.
Okay, Dax is gonna kind of look around at the situation. And are we out of initiative or?
No, there's still the one that's got 2 health left.
Oh, I thought that was the one I hit.
No, that one's 60 feet away.
Oh, the one running away.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about him.
I'll do that.
I'm done.
Well, Lucian goes first. So, Ran, you can do something after Lucian.
So Lucian or
Lucian. Stranger. Are you here?
Hello?
Ah, okay, there you are.
Oh, shit.
It's your turn.
Okay, my internet surged for a second there. With only one left and it fleeing, I've got to burn my action. I'm going to expend my entire 80 foot of movement speed using the dash action to intercept last Hooligan. And that'll be my turn.
All right. So the Sahuagin, on its turn, takes out its spear, is pointing it toward its chest, and then all of a sudden it jitters a little bit, and you can tell that the spell just suddenly dispels. Tirza, you and Kriv know that there are a lot of enchantment spells that like prevent the caster, like not the caster, the target from being able to do something like that. Like it was pretty clear that like there was some element of the command that was like, if this happens, then finish yourself off. But it's just like the Sahuagin was wanting to stay alive, and that sort of thing tends to just override the spell. So the spell effect is broken, and Sahuagin looks around in surprise and confusion, and then suddenly notices just the massive stab wound in its side. Yeah, you can. You can pop him one.
My
Okay.
modifier is +2, so if you really want me to roll it, please
No.
try. So he looks around dazed and then just elbow to the face.
Yeah. You are now out of initiative.
Okay, Dax is gonna. Well, I mean, unless barring anybody else's thing, Dax will like stabilize the Sahuagin that he just dropped. Unless I don't need to do that. Just make sure he's not gonna die.
I mean, I've got some healing I can dole out if you want.
I do too, but I don't want to wake him up yet. I just want to stabilize him so he'll stay unconscious for a while.
Okay. Medicine check.
Okay. Please, Bahamut.
I have a set of
Bahamut.
manacles.
Well, I have rope, so I can tie him up if I need to, but I kind of want to wait because Toriel and the Mahalinti are out now. So hold on a sec.
Yeah, if you're trying to stabilize the other one, then you should also do a medicine check.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no!
Somehow accidentally managed to elbow the Sahuagin in the face again. Doesn't get any worse, but he's not getting any better from that.
Good, then I'll pick him up and start taking him back to camp.
I mean, they're not in any danger of dying or anything, right?
Oh wait, I misread the things. Daxmir's the one who got the natural one. So yeah, Lucian, you actually do well, and Daxmir, you're the one who accidentally elbows the Sahuagin in the face.
Alright, drop off.
A 7 as well. Okay. Well, after I've kind of made sure that I didn't, like, my pulled punch actually pulled well enough, I'm going to pick him up and take him back.
Wait, hold on. I misread the entire situation. So Daxmir had a natural 1, Lucian had a 7. Those were both the medicine checks. Okay, neither of those are good for stabilization as a whole, but they don't look like they're like immediately about to go. So if you get them, if you get them back, it should be okay. But it's not immediately gotten to anything. They're just like knocked unconscious.
Okay, like I was picturing something like I accidentally like do something with like a wound and it starts like spouting blood.
I don't do the thing where like if you fail a medicine check, then like because that sort of ruling, if you're consistent about it, also means that other players are harmed by it if that happens.
Yeah.
So if you have like a natural 1 on another player, then it's like, sorry, you failed a death save.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
a check.
That's pretty jukey. Okay, I'm glad. I mean, if I have to, I'll boop him for a hit point, but just don't really want him to wake up quite yet.
Yeah.
can I will say to the Sagan that is near me that has the 2 hit points
No, that Lucian dropped that one.
Oh, oh well. I'm gonna help Lucian bring the Saiyan back to the camp.
I'd prefer not to. I'd much rather pick him up myself and begin to jaunt back to the camp.
No. I'll help you. Start helping.
I'm just imagining Ron
He's
trailing
falling off.
behind Lucy, going, "Look, no, let me help." Lucy's just like, no.
I am completely imagining a Clint Eastwood style face right now on Lucian and just get out of my way.
It's such a funny mental image.
Like, I'm still scowling. I'm still pissed.
Well, I see how it is, salty old man. I'm gonna loosen up my grip on the corpse on the body.
I'm here to kick ass and drink tea, and I'm all out of tea.
Well, they did kind of interrupt my tea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give the doggo a pat for me.
Oh no, I'm so done. I'm so doomed.
Why are you doomed?
Because he killed one of the Sahuagin that attacked. We were trying to keep him
Good
alive.
point.
We're in.
Screw you, Net 20.
Trying to keep him alive. You don't do a sneak attack, please.
I mean, I tried to do the non-lethal thing, but he maneuvered like so fast. I accidentally stabbed him in the heart. Accidents happen. No,
That's
I have the
an
intention.
accident.
Yeah, it is an accident.
Ooh, is
All
Dax mad at Ron for killing him?
Yes.
Dax isn't the one mad at Ron.
We both are.
Tears is just like clapping. Good for you! You did it!
So, to sort of continue this, I bring the Sahuagin to the feet of the Malinti and Toriel. So I set it down, change my expression into a calmer one to attempt to regain these negotiations that we're supposed to be having.
Dax goes and checks on Vorat. Well, he checks on the other two, too.
I'm gonna say, Vorat's fine.
Yeah, Vorad will tell you that there was a pretty significant wound, but your friend over there did something and fixed most of it right up. And
Okay. He'll check on the two halflings, because they got booped a little, too, didn't they?
yeah,
I like not being level 1.
Okay. Let's see. Well, hopefully we're, like, cool now as far as, like, we're not gonna get attacked anymore, hopefully, so... But, like, do I know, like, how... Can I gauge how much they got hurt? Or can I just ask
Neither
you how
of
many
them
hit
had more
points they
than-
have?
neither of them had more than 5 points of damage. They don't have as much health as Vorat does, but they're not like at risk of dropping.
Okay, well, I'll lay on hands them both for, like, about 3 each.
Can I check?
For a long sword?
Yeah. What?
He's gonna pick the Kensai monk path.
And any weapon that I choose turns into a monk weapon, which
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
They changed it in the published version, but in the Unearthed Arcana version, it's any martial weapon you're proficient in is counted as a monk weapon, and I'm bringing that back because that makes sense.
That's badass.
Dang it! Oh my.
No, what is it? Ha ha ha!
Ultra, can I check? Can I check the Sahagin corpse?
It's not a oh, yeah, never mind.
The corpse one for what?
I don't know. A loot.
Okay, is he doing this anywhere near me?
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I?
gonna kick him.
Yeah. Can I actually roll a hit?
yeah. Roll to do two big kicks from the two of you.
I get a second attack. with
Lucian has special training in big kicks, so Ran immediately tried to loot the dead Sahuagin. Yes, you do.
What is that?
Two
I got two natural ones.
in a row. That's nonsense. Oh,
Oh,
my God,
no!
Dax him. Ha ha ha! Headcanon Daxmir is pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
I don't know if it's true, but in my head, because that.
So what do I roll for an unarmed strike?
That's I think it's either 1d4 plus your strength bonus or just 1 plus your strength bonus. No, wait,
Okay,
it's
well-
1d4 plus your strength bonus when you have like a race that does that because that's natural weapon. So just 1 plus your strength bonus.
Okay, that's a 5.
Oh God!
Ow!
Wait, so that's,
So
What?
does that mean it's 10 damage?
No, it's 7.
yes, actually.
Oh
no.
my God!
No! This is preposterous.
Wait, it's double dice, so it's just 6 damage. But either way,
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
That's half my health.
I kicked him and I kneecapped him.
I'm just checking. Just checking where do I stab.
was this a kick or a punch?
It was a kick.
Okay,
Just a regular boot and not like my gauntleted fist.
so yeah, Ran, the wind is just completely knocked out of you. You are flung backwards.
Daxmir points his finger at Rand and says, "In Inferno, don't you dare!" And he uses thaumaturgy to make his eyes like turn from silver to red. You don't understand what he's saying, Rand, but he's growling at you and like, no.
I don't know what you're saying, but F you.
Out of the corner of your eye, you can see Kelsolak is actually kind of impressed.
Anyway, Daxmir will de-thaumaturgy his eyes and go back to like making sure the Suhugan doesn't die.
Well, before he does, can Tirza like do a minor illusion like over Dax's head to make him seem more intimidating?
Sure.
Because it's funny. Like, I don't care if it does anything or not. Just, I don't know, like a.
What would it be? Would it just be like?
You know that sort of cloud that hangs over someone's head in anime when they're really mad?
Yes.
So just this big crackling thundercloud.
Yes. No, not a looming shadow. That's Elf Dad's.
Fine.
I'm just gonna check the thing from
Slam.
afar then. I'm just gonna check the thing from afar then. Not trying to take attention again. You can't see me do that. I just side eyeing the thing.
Huh.
and I'm just gonna sit near a tree, contemplating my life choices.
Yeah, you contemplate real hard, right?
The Valenti walks over to Dax. I'm sure that there's a wonderful explanation for why I heard that one shouting attack and then one of my people dead. I realized there was a breach, and we're going to look into that. But there seems to be an element of zealousness that's unappreciated.
I'm gonna shout. I think I'm far away from Tex right now, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna shout. They are mind controlled, and they just seemingly
I
attack
saw.
the thing. Okay.
Is Tirza anywhere near this conversation?
Yes.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do this. She'll look at the Malenti and just like the most concern you have ever seen on her face, and just go, I think something's really wrong with him. I don't know what it is. Can I make a deception check?
Yeah.
At least I'm assuming that's what that is, because, like, it's kind of a lie, mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's a lie at all.
Well, that's an understatement.
Just to be an asshole.
And the Malenti looks over at Toriel. And this is the kind of person who you trust with your delicate diplomatic measures, then. Him. And then something that seems like it's probably going to quickly become an argument starts back up.
So, how about we find out who did this? How about I go and find out? Dax will stand up. And he's gonna
Tirza,
do
make an
divine
intelligence saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Good roll, please. Yes.
You feel yourself just tense up for a second, but no, it's fine. It's fine now. Thank you for reminding me, Castor, by the way.
Very welcome. So,
That would have been another time that I forgot that, and then was like, dang it, that would have been a good time for it, like an hour later.
so everyone just kind of sees her, like, shake her head real fast, like, whoa, what the? And then, that's it.
Okay. Daxmir's doing divine sense.
Nothing within 60 feet.
Figures. Daxmir looks around, like, seeing that people are attacking, and he'll say, anybody know the range on, mind control spells? And he'll kind of move towards the center of the camp, like, kind of towards where the Sahuagin that were mind controlled were.
Would Kriv or I know the range of mind control spells?
Yeah, you can make a check. Should be an Arcana check.
Or is Kriv walking the dog, I think?
No, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's an 8. Better than a 6, though. Kind of.
Yep.
Technically.
I was actually going to have Kelsolak respond, but yeah, if you guys had wanted to do it, then it would be good for that.
No,
But
I mean, if Kelsolak knows
Yeah.
more.
yeah, you're both worrying about it, and Kelsolek has been talking to the one who had like tried and failed to stab himself in Sahuagin for a couple of minutes. Comes back over to you. They've been dominated. Could be anywhere.
Could I do a perception check towards the forest, like I guess the edge of camp, just glancing?
Yeah. Um, you see up in the tree. There's like up in the trees. There's something like lurking over, watching, like a pretty significant distance up and about 50 feet away.
Can I also try to spot something? Because I'm sulking in the forest.
Or do you maybe want to say something?
Yeah.
I think I'll wander off that direction.
Alone?
Without telling anybody.
I'm gonna follow
Yeah.
Lucian.
A little bit.
All right.
Criv's also
gonna-
gonna follow.
I'm gonna follow Lucian.
I am staying put.
I'm not making direct eye contact at what I've spotted either. I'm trying to keep my gaze low and seem unavoiding, not going directly at it, but sort of veering into it.
Do I see them like all?
Yeah, you see
skedaddling?
them suddenly just turn on a heel and march into the forest, or rather, Lucian do it and then Ran be like sitting in a corner, and then seeing Lucian walk away. And it's like, oh, wait for me. I'm seeing Ran follow Lucian.
I'm going to alert. Let's see. What's Kelsolak doing right?
Right now, Kelsolak is explaining like the finer points of what being dominated is like to Toriel and the Malenti. Like the Malenti seems to be understanding in general. Like she seems to have like a base knowledge about this. Toriel seems a little less quick on the uptake about this because she's not really like super used to the arcane stuff, but it's pretty easy to figure out.
Okay. Do I have a sense of like which of these Sahuagin is like in charge of like is in any position of authority? Like aside from like Kelsolak, like so I can, boop somebody, say, hey, I think they've spotted something.
There are a couple of larger Sahuagin that are like slightly darker and greener in color. You had seen one of them before that you had killed at the outpost, and they seem to be the ones who are like relaying orders to move and change position when there was
Okay. Well, I'd probably keep
when everybody was changing how they were standing around the camp.
Okay. Actually, am I close enough to like catch Ran by the scruff of the neck? Because I kind of feel like he shouldn't go out of everybody's sight right now.
You can dash over there and then grab him.
Yes, I'm going
If
to.
I see Texmir dash, I'm gonna use my cunning action to dash. Aha! I'm faster than you.
Wow. Do I see do I see? I mean, all I saw was them walking away.
Yeah, you saw them walking away, and then you tried to get close to Ran, and he just skedaddled.
All right, then I'm gonna go back and. I mean, I hate to interrupt right now, but I'm going to kind of like give Toriel a like little try and catch her eye, and I think they've spotted something out there.
She turns to Kilselect. Just a moment. Where?
He'll point to the direction they're going. I mean, they went out. I mean, they're already gone.
Yeah, they're already gone.
They went out that way. Lucian was
You
leading the way.
two are now. It's a bit later. It's like a couple of seconds later, and with you guys just running out there, you are at this point directly underneath the thing that's up in the trees. Let's see if you are noticed. Dang it! Why did that just create a bunch of backslashes? I want it to be one backslash and then Discord. Play nice.